What's going on, people? Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. It's outside Stamford Bridge and it's finished Chelsea 6, Middlesbrough 1 in the Carabao Cup, and Chelsea advancing to the final at Wembley. I'm here with Rory, Charbel and Dave. Guys, pretty much a perfect night. Rory, I'll start with you, mate. How did you see that one? Did it go better than you expected? I mean, personally for me, I was expecting it to be a little bit tougher than that.
Mate, when the lineup came out, I was the first to criticise it, and I wasn't confident at all. You know, I knew Middlesbrough were going to come here. They brought 8,000 fans or whatever it was, and I knew they were going to play the low block. You know, tough to break down, that sort of game. And yeah, we scored the first goal, and then it just kept coming. And big up to Axel Disasi. I've been his biggest criticiser at times, and I've also loved him at times, but he was man of the match tonight. I thought he was absolutely brilliant, didn't put a foot wrong, can't complain much. But yeah, we're going to Wembley, that's the bottom line, and this is what this club's about, winning trophies, and that's what we need to do. Whether it's going to be Liverpool or Fulham, it's probably going to be Liverpool, but we need to get that trophy because that's what builds a winning mentality. New squad, new players. Poch, he needs to win this to cement his place and say, okay, let's kick on, let's do better things now. You know, next season we can move for Champions League and we can move for other things. But yeah, we take that and we'll move on to Villa on Friday, which is another big game, which would be very nice to win and go further in that competition.
No, absolutely. And in terms of like how we approached the game, are you pleased with how quickly we started? Because so many times in games this season we've started slow, we've not moved the ball quickly. But tonight, you know, we're a goal down. We needed to be at it from the off. And, you know, we started quickly, we're moving the ball fast, we were at it from the first minute. And it makes a massive difference. We just haven't seen it enough this season.
Yeah, it was straight at it. Yeah. Basically, that's what Poch did, and he did it very well, to be fair. I didn't like that Conor Gallagher didn't start, but, you know, it ended up being a brilliant call, and I thought maybe Alfie Gilchrist deserved to start. You know, he's been impressive when he's come on and he's had these little cameos, but, you know, he didn't start him, and that it ended up being brilliant, and you can't really complain much. Like, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Charbel, what stood out for you most tonight? Who impressed you the most? What were you most pleased with? Obviously, apart from making the final, what kind of stood out for you on an individual level?
Probably Axel Disasi, because as the season's progressed, he's got a lot better. Like, he's kind of limited his mistakes a bit more. And I feel like even like the team as a whole, like, I like the way we just kept pressing on and like not giving Middlesbrough any chance to come back. That's the sort of Chelsea I like seeing. And I was just excited to see 6 goals go in, and I'm happy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it makes a change, doesn't it? Like, for us to actually punish teams making their mistakes. I mean, look, Middlesbrough made the same mistake probably 3 times in that opening half, but, you know, they made mistakes in the first leg and we squandered all the chances. This time we actually took the chances and we were clinical, and, you know, it was a pretty good attacking performance. I mean, all right, rightfully said, plaudits will go to Cole Palmer, of course, because he's been superb, but what have you made of him? Because I don't think anyone expected him to be this good, and arguably you could probably say he's not only our best signing this summer, but it's really the best signing in the Premier League this season as well.
Yeah. So with Cole Palmer, I feel like as he's come from a Manchester City team under a really, really good manager, I feel like he's transferred some of those skills and some of those responsibilities that he's learned to come and help out this Chelsea team, where maybe most of the players that have come in have not really been in a Premier League environment. So he's kind of taken the onus on himself to provide for the team, but also like calm it down when things really need to be kind of motivated. And I've seen it as we've gone along. Like, he's actually shown us, like, if he continues on this path, he could be, I'm not saying it in a positive way, but I'm saying it like, if he continues providing goals and assists for us, he could be on that level of Eden Hazard. Like, we've not seen a winger that can actually contribute to goals and actually create stuff for himself like Cole Palmer's done, and I'm really happy with that signing.
No, absolutely. I mean, and Dave, for you, like, how important is making this final for Chelsea? Obviously, there's no European football. You know, this is the cups are all we've got to play for, and to make the first final available at the first time of asking, that's pretty good going. I mean, how important is it for the club, given how much turmoil there's been over the last sort of 18 months to 2 years?
Then see, competitions give a positive energy. See, if we get further into the FA Cup on Friday, we get to the Carabao Cup final, it gives a positive energy in terms of like we can push on the league. So like that 6th and 7th place goes, do you know what, we can push to 4th and 5th. It takes a bit of pressure off. The boys have got, okay, you know, we can get 3 points here, we can believe at Anfield, we can believe at the Etihad. Small things that we wouldn't have believed in prior, maybe beforehand, and go, do you know what, we actually have half a chance.
No, absolutely. I mean, in terms of like who kind of stood out for you tonight, who impressed you the most? I mean, obviously, you know, Cole Palmer was good, the Sassy was good. I mean, what do you reckon of Enzo Fernandez in midfield? He's adding a few goals to his game now. How important is that going to be for us?
Do you know, it's strange enough. Do you know what? It's trying to fit in the midfield. You have Conor Gallagher. You had obviously Lavia. You have Leslie, and you know, finally maybe we actually have something works with Enzo. We have of course Conor, and of course Caicedo. Maybe Caicedo and Enzo actually the duo that actually work for us in terms of feeding off to Cole, being able to spray the passes. You know, it's unfair on Poch. I'm actually for Poch in the whole season in terms of how he has actually had a difficulty in terms of Carney's being out. Of course, Leslie's never been in the team, Lavia's never been in the team. He's never been able to have a midfield where he's been able to go, do you know what, that's my 3, that's my 2 every week. Do you know what, he's turned around and go, Caicedo and Enzo, they actually have a bit of a duo going. I mean, it was weird enough when you saw against a celebration against Fulham, they have a slight bond. They've been talking in interviews about each other and going, do you know what, maybe that's the actual duo that feeds off to Palmer, gets the best of Cole. I mean, Cole's been carrying this side all season, but actually, if I had to say in the 25th of February, Caicedo and Enzo, that's the midfield duo.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, to round out, how do we see Friday night going? Back in action again, it's a quick turnaround. It's FA Cup against Villa. We don't want a replay. Home form's improved. I think we've won 5 games in a row at home now. How do you see the game against Villa going? Do you think we've got enough to get a win?
We'll wait and see. Well, it's going to be a much different approach because it's a much higher quality side than tonight. But, you know, it's going to be interesting. 3-day turnaround. Villa obviously haven't had the midweek game, but I want to see Colwell at centre-back again. I want to see Disasi there. And, yeah, if we make the same approach, I reckon we're a good chance of knocking them off, and avoiding a replay would be nice as well, especially with a final coming up. We got Premier League games coming thick and fast. Liverpool next week, and we got Palace isn't far away. So, yeah, if we could get through, it'd be really... I think it'll build on the season and build the confidence towards the final.
Absolutely. And Sharma, how do you see Friday going? You sharing that same confidence? You know, home form's improving. We're stringing wins together. Big win tonight. Have you got any reason to be afraid on Friday?
I'm not really afraid of that Villa side, especially how they've shown some defensive frailties in the past few games. I feel like Chelsea need to use that same mentality as tonight. Press them, keep going for that goal. Like, those chances are going to come, but you need to keep on scoring, and that's what I feel like we need to do.
Absolutely. And Dave, to finish up, mate, how do you see Friday going? You looking forward to it? Are you feeling confident?
It's a weird one because you see whether we've come up from September when we lost to them 1-0 and whether we actually improved as a side. Whether we get those chances, and when we take them, obviously Nick Jackson missing them and Mudryk making those chances, you go, actually, are we going to take them? And Villa, it's a good progress because it's a strange one. If we win that, I feel it'll maybe realise all the Poch doubters, actually, we're a good enough side. We can actually return in 2 or 3 days and actually win a big game. And due respect to Villa, Villa are a big team now. They're in the top 4. We've got to respect them. So go out them. Like, I might say that the Middlesbrough game tonight, we took it a bit easy in the first maybe 15-20 minutes, showed them a bit of respect, half chances. But again, we rolled ourselves into the game. But on Friday, at them straight away. Press, high press. Again, I hope Noni will be starting. Mudryk didn't impress me tonight. Noni is the man that will make things happen. Of course, Conor Gallagher straight in. I think the false 9 with Cole Palmer would be a better bet. Just let's take Villa seriously, let's get the job done. And if we don't win in Liverpool next week, no big deal. But Friday, that's huge.